Arsenal have £100 million problem, in my opinion. I know at Arsenal we say we make superstars, but is that still enough? This transfer policy potentially could cost Arsenal the chance to retain their Premier League trophy, people. Why must Arsenal pay the final going rate? I think you lot know the answer to that. And I would also say, clearly, and we've been saying this for years, the transfer market is broken. And we find ourselves as Arsenal fans and now Arsenal as a football club caught in it. I actually think Arsenal's self-sustaining model is brilliant until you need to spend money and sign a superstar, people. Again, it's been here for a while. We've said this at numerous points, people, but football has officially entered the age of £100 million being the benchmark. 100 million is the new 5 million. Morgan Rogers is the latest name, to go to Chelsea and be one of those guys. And, no doubt there'll be a few more. But I only am interested in Arsenal Football Club. And while it appears other clubs are spending fortunes on ready-made stars, it does beg the question, should we spend 100 million competing with the current market, or trust ourselves to create the next superstar, or trust our scouts to find the lesser names, people? And then obviously when they sign for us, Bob's your uncle, they go on and become brilliant footballers. Because getting this decision wrong could either waste millions or waste a golden opportunity for Arsenal to, not just win a Premier League and get to 2 finals, but actually build on the present and actually start making this a minimum. We all know Pep Guardiola's left the Premier League. Obviously, everybody's trying to improve. We are going to be in a scenario where a few teams go into a season and win a Premier League. I don't necessarily subscribe to it now. I don't know what the other top 6 are going to look like, but we've got the only Premier League winning manager in the squad in the league at this moment in time, and we finally won the Premier League. I don't want to be in a flash in the pan. I want to see something that Arsenal haven't done in my 31 years, which is obviously to retain the Premier League title. The transfer market's become ridiculous, which is an understatement. Players with potential are receiving superstar valuations. Players that have been at clubs for 2 minutes and showed any kind of brilliance are going for 100 million. The game's the game. Arsenal want market value, but selling clubs know Premier League clubs have money, whether it's buying and selling from abroad or within this country, and surely Arsenal Football Club can compete financially without abandoning our principles and our discipline, football people. This is football's new reality. As I keep saying, £100 million deals are becoming increasingly normal. Premier League clubs possess an enormous financial power. Premier League proven ready now quality carries an extreme premium. Selling clubs know that, the buyers have money to pay. The market doesn't care what Arsenal believe a player should cost. The market only cares about what another club will pay. And that's why, for me, I've kind of checked out from signing the superstars, and I'll get on to that. Of course, I hope we do, but I'll get on to that throughout the course of this video, people. We're all know, and I think I speak for most normal Arsenal fans, where Arsenal must keep finding value. We know we cannot and won't, and we don't necessarily want us to spend 100 million 5 times in every position. But strong recruitment means buying before a player's value explodes. And I'm at the point now, where if I just say some names, go and find Mahrez when he's in France, let alone at Leicester. Kante the same. Doué when he's at Rennes. The Mo Salah when they're calling him a Chelsea flop and he's playing in Italy. Fair to say that one worked out. And we could have plenty of other examples because, Morgan Rogers been at Aston Villa for 2 minutes, 100+ million. Kroupy and Alex Scott have been 2 minutes at Bournemouth. You're looking at 70+ million. And there's plenty of examples. Unfortunately, this is the game now, people. So it's either we put the money on the table or you find these guys before they explode, and then you kind of outsmart the market, or you're sitting here holding your hands. Now, Morgan Rogers been gone. I'm quite pessimistic on Bruno Gomares. As I keep saying, Gomares could like us, we could like him. We could talk about how he fits into the 11, what he gives the team, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, Newcastle do not have to sell. He's under contract for 2 years, free if you consider an additional year. You can do your fair valuations things, but you probably have to be able to overpay if you want a player. Do you think we wanted to spend 105 million on Declan Rice? Do you think Manchester City wanted to spend 116 million on Elliot Anderson, or 117 million where Chelsea are concerned with Rodgers? But if you really believe in the player, you have to know you're going to have to pay a bit more. These are key players. Cheap and valuable are not the same thing. And for argument's sake, a 30 million pound player who doesn't improve any football club, let alone Arsenal, could be worse value than a 90 million pound player who transforms the team. Again, market value isn't necessarily player value anymore. It's whatever It's whatever desperate clubs are prepared to pay. We've seen this several times. And, for every one that we've got over the line with Declan Rice, there's plenty of examples of dragged out sagas. It worked positively where Rice, Gyökeres, and Eze were concerned. It didn't work out for us with Douglas, Luiz, Morgan Rogers, Caicedo, Mudryk, etc. As I want to reiterate, I'm at a point where, you know what, scouts do your job. I might not necessarily know too much about the players who come in. They might not be the sexiest of names. Going back to the Mo Salah point, I very much doubt every Liverpool fan was excited about Mo Salah signing for them. And there probably was elements of he's a Chelsea reject, Chelsea flop, all of that kind of crap. You could say the same with Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City. It's fair to say in time that went on, it worked out. Bacola, you're looking at 100 plus million at 120. We're linked with Nico Williams. He's got a release clause of 77 million, which would need to be paid up front. Bruno Gomares the same. For some reason, we've been linked with Yan Diomande. Predictable, because you can only keep linking us with the same left wingers before we get bored, or wingers people. So we know about our self-sustaining model, but surely it needs to be a bit flexible, considering we are trying to retain our title and progress in the Champions League, people. And if I'm honest with you, and not to drop other players in it, but you had 65 million for Kai Havertz. You had 50 for Madueke. Surely, if you add those fees together, that gets you your Rodgers, that gets you your different kind of players. So it does feel, when it's evident quality, we're differing and trying to find value. When it's players that we're not unanimously agreeing on as fans, our club doesn't do such, people. So, yeah, and I mean, at this point, all I've got is copium. I'm just hoping Dowman, Max Dowman keeps exploding and doing what he's doing. Could Ethan Nwaneri, if you can't buy Morgan Rogers, and they're not like for like, Mikel Arteta, could Ethan Nwaneri be your Morgan Rogers, people? We know we develop Haaland talents. We know we need to continue to give them first team minutes. We know that obviously we're trying to win a Premier League trophy again, and we also know we want to avoid unnecessary spending in positions already covered internally. We know we need to preserve money for profiles the academy cannot currently produce. And again, I understand the need to generate sales and market value and all of this, but at the end of the day, we won a Premier League, we was in a Champions League final. There's no beating around the bush. If scouts can do their jobs and find players that I've mentioned and other players that you lot have come to mind, great. If not, option B is to put the money on the table. The option C is what I don't want, and the window's not closed, is this whole we tried thing, and we haven't got evident game changers, if I'm completely honest with you, man. And for me, we don't need, a lot of clubs need a lot of work. We only need, like, in terms of a level raises, probably two positions: left wing, centre mid. You could make a case for a striker. Then it's a case of just, complementing the squad once again in similar vein like last season. And for me, it's clear we need proven talent. We need proven individual brilliance, proven top level experience, players that are not only physically but tactically ready and have had that kind of, like, education to hit the ground running. I understand we don't buy superstars, we make them, but a self-sustaining model based on this current game, it needs to be flexible. It cannot go from being self-sustaining to self-starvation, if I'm completely honest with you. There's an element of, yes, planning for tomorrow, but we need to win now. And I do understand it. I've said before, I actually like the self-sustaining model. I just think sometimes when you're looking at the game, you need to pivot away, trying to find value, differing and taking long to get deals done. I've seen Jerry Munger go to City, and obviously Morgan Rogers go to Chelsea. I understand finding value matters, but missing out on elite players, I use that term loosely, missing out on elite or top class players over a final 10 to 20 million can also become extremely expensive if it costs us in our pursuit of trophies. I understand the danger from both sides, man. I don't really want to pay superstar fees for potential, which you might not necessarily. I don't want to accumulate expensive squad players on big wages. Obviously, you don't want to do those kind of things. That comes with overspending. Underspending means wasting our current title winning window. It means asking young players to solve every weakness while they're still developing. Probably means the players that are not young are more experienced players like Martinelli and things like that. With the greatest of respect, we know the good, bad, and the ugly we get from you. We're putting, in my opinion now, unrealistic expectations on you people, if I'm brutally honest, man. So, yeah, our Arsenal's model cannot be we never pay big money, which isn't true. We have done that. It must be develop what you can, find value where it exists, and pay the going rate when an elite player competes. We've gone from being challengers and one of those sides to being in that upper echelon. That comes with defeat. PSG have developed talents. They've also made some smart additions. They've also spent money where it could be. Now, we're never going to be Chelsea, we're never going to be City, we're never going to do that, but we have money to flex. And for me, I'm jumping away from what we're talking about in this video, even though I want that to be the premise. This is why we need to start developing young talents even more, bringing in players from the four corners of the world that if they progress to the first team, great. Or if not, we've bought you for 5 million, we're selling you for 20. We've got 5 players like that. That gives you more of a cash buffer in terms of developing talents. That allows us to say in certain scenarios, like imagine we was doing that. Oh, we only want to pay 100 million for Morgan Rogers, but we've made 40 odd million on 2 players that between them have played 10 times in the first team. Slap that on top of Morgan Rogers. Yeah, we're a bit pissed off, but we've got our player. You know what they say in life? The best negotiations is when both parties walk away unhappy. And even going left with this, people, indirectly, that could tie into the loan system. I think our loan system needs a revitalization because if you're talking about developing talents to sell and whatnot, then you need to give them a good platform, which is why I think, you know, the next step is the multi-club structure. I know people are not going to agree with that, but you just have to look at the market and where it is. And right now it's costing us, surely, people. Or am I wrong? Let me know in the comments.